Better you should smoke pot than buy all those records. And would you please stop playing with matches?
2 of High End Munich 2022. We're stopping by the Lampizator booth.
Okay. Those two, correct?
That's a product I wouldn't mind reviewing. And there he is, Mr. Ficus. Had dinner with that guy. Funny guy. Older. Somebody must have had a late dinner. Or they stayed up too late last night. They're not here.
We're showing here in Munich are the new reference Hegel fully analog preamplifier and matching power amplifier. So the preamplifier is called a P30. It will start shipping in October, and the retail price in the US will be about $9,000. So it's crazy money, but it's a completely new design from our previous reference. Completely new FET gain stage with matched transistors, so there's no higher order harmonic distortion. There's a volume control, so basically everything on the inside is brand new. Then we have a new power amplifier that is built and designed as a monoblock. So it will replace our existing H30, and we just call it A because we don't want to oversell it. That's very Scandinavian understatement.
Exactly, that's what you guys do. You undersell, understate.
Exactly. So the output stages of this is the same as the old one. It's 56 output devices for each amp, but the entire input stage and voltage gain stage is completely new. So we had made these previous designs with an old, was that Toshiba, isn't it? The old transistors.
Yeah, the old MOSFETs are Toshiba, but they are discontinued. So we bought a pallet of transistors, but now we run out.
That's what you have to do. It's like the tube thing. 50 years ago, you have to blow the tubes out, otherwise there's no tubes.
Sure.
It's crazy.
Yeah. So now we found some new Siliconics MOSFETs that are actually even better.
Really?
Yeah. But then we had to redesign all voltage amplifier board completely.
And this is a stereo amplifier.
Well, this is designed as a mono, but you can use it also as a stereo.
You can configure it in the rear when the switch.
So you can either use it as a stereo amplifier or as a mono amplifier. And how much does this cost?
This will be 19,000 US. Yeah.
So the two together is about 28,000.
28,000. Yep.
And what is the power output of this?
Stereo, it's about 350 per channel in 8 ohms continuous, and in mono it's 1100. So it's quite a bit.
Very powerful.
More than enough. Yeah. And it's stable down to very low impedances.
Yeah.
So this is one, especially as a stereo, this is one of the few that can drive old reverb apogees and things like this.
Yeah. Great. So this is going to show up in the fall?
Yep, in October.
Great.
Yeah.
Okay. Well, thank you.
Thank you.
And I have one of these arms at home that I'm reviewing. This is the Axiom arm. It looks just like that. The Grande Complication. And there's the man himself.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Hi.
How are you?
Not too bad.
Good morning.
Not at all.
It's actually the ultimate incarnation of what we started 12 years ago with the Axiom. So here, all the parts that with the regular Axiom are in aluminium alloy. Here they are in Titan Timet 1100. Hardest Titan. And everything what you can possibly align on a pivotal toner means SRA, overhang, azimuth, static tracking force, dynamic dynamic tracking force, lateral balance, and VTA are all done either by micrometer with scale or by nano spindle, where the scale you have to hold during alignment while it sits. All the other ones you can align. Anti-skating, dynamic tracking force, and VTA on the fly, lateral balance and static tracking force, and the alignments at the head like overhang, SRA,
Right.
and
Which is the best place to have all that happen.
yes, because all the other parameters stay stable. So, for instance, the micrometer for the VTA is actually made in Germany and has a scale, so you can read out any alternation down to 1 micron, to 1,000.
That's that one, right? That's what.
That's a big one in the middle. You see it more from the other end.
Oh, right, right.
So what
I should know this all by now, but
it's actually simply was our attempt to see. We had a few other competitors who had put out tone arms much higher price than the Axiom.
Right.
And we said, okay, if someone is really willing to spend that much money on a tone arm, we want to show what is possible to do for that price. So simply going for every material, for every way of alignment to the best possible imaginable. So every cartridge you align in this tone arm, you can fine-tune to an extent that is not possible in any other tone arm.
and what does this cost?
Too much money.
That's what everybody says about everything
It
in
is
this whole
too much
business,
money.
but
yeah, it is too much. But put it that way, retail price should be something in the region of 55,000 euros.
okay.
And I know that we have much lower, of course, 5-digit cost already in manufacturing it.
Right.
It's all done here in Bavaria, around Lake Ammersee. Everything that is made here, what you see on the tone arm is actually CNC tooled, manufactured, assembled here in our area.
It's really beautiful. Absolutely beautiful.
It's actually, for me, was a task. What can the tone arm do for the cartridge?
Yep.
Not just guiding it, but enable bringing the performance of the cartridge so much to the apogee as ever possible.
Yep.
With as small minimal alignment steps as you can, but you just can't do by hand. It's not possible by
Yep.
hand.
Well, it's absolutely beautiful.
This is the Astellar.
How do you spell that?
Astellar. A-S-T-E-L-L-R.
Oh, a stellar design. Okay, I get that. And it exists right now only in this form as a
It exists as an ugly prototype, which you can't present here. But all the CNC is done, everything is working, everything is checked out, listened to. It's just not presentable here on the show.
Right.
And this is a form we want for the people to have the real impression how it will look when it finally comes out. And it is essentially the Appolite brought to the most compact form without the big periphery needed, not with an air bearing, but with a B-radial push-pull magnetic bearing.
Oh.
Double motor, air suspension, 5 arm bases. Five. You can align and mount a tangential arm right at the back.
I got it.
You will see again when the loop starts again. And an arm, once mounted and aligned on any of the arm boards, can be moved to any of the other three without a need for realignment.
Great.
Always the same distance to the center of the spindle.
The only problem is once all the arms are on there, there's no way to get in there and put a record on it. But that's not a big problem.
Well, put it that way, most people mount even here maybe 3 arms, and
Yeah.
you still have the opening at the front.
Yeah.
And what you have also here is you have an air suspension, but the double motor drive is on the lowest level, embedded there, and embedded there again in a vibration prevention form. The bearing is on the second level, already air suspended. Then is again a cushioning between the top level and the mid level. So arm level and bearing level, bound together, not moving to each other, but
Yep.
both are suspended
Wow.
on the air springs.
Good idea.
Air springs are passive. There's a very small pump inside the power supply which only starts every third day when you push the start button for 10 seconds. End of story.
That's good. Do you have a possible price for this?
Under
Really?
Yeah.
Wow.
Target price in euro is definitely
That's very aggressive pricing in this market. There's a lot.
we are only doing one production run each year because we need 4 months for production and 1 month for assembly.
So how many do you think you'll produce in the first production?
22 each year
All right.
is our maximum capacity.
So it's exclusive, but not like
Not unobtainium.
not unobtainium. Okay, Mr. Hi-Fi Tuning. This is Mr. Hi-Fi Tuning. Let's
Yes.
give your name right here. Bernd Ahn. Did I pronounce it correctly?
Yeah, Bernd Arne.
Bernd Ahn. Oh, Anna. Okay,
Yeah.
that's pretty good.
So this is a brand new world premiere, the Supreme fuse holder for home installation.
This is, I just completely redid my electricity.
Yes.
Completely redid.
And you exchange your circuit breaker with this fuse holder, and inside you got the Supreme fuse, handmade in Germany, and you kick out of your armchair, I promise. The sound and the dynamics are amazing.
Okay, so the interesting thing is you can pop out the circuit breaker that's in your board and just put
Yes.
this thing in there.
Yes.
And know right away.
You change, just change, it's 10 minutes.
Okay, so my electricity specialists who came to my house and redid my wiring from the roof down.
Yeah, 10 minutes and finish.
This is something they would really be interested in. How much does this cost?
The retail price in Germany is 240 euro, including the fuse.
Okay, that's not bad.
No,
So I'm reviewing a giant amplifier right now.
Yeah.
That when I first turn it on, it blows a 20 amp fuse.
20 amp?
Well, that's what I have. For each channel, I have a 20
Okay.
amp circuit
Yeah.
breaker. So if it blew this,
this fuse holder, you can use fuses up to 32 amp. So 20 amp, 25 amp is the next step.
yeah.
We make it also. All range up to 32 amp.
So I'm gonna talk to my electricity advisor and see
Yeah.
what they think about this.
And I can give you 25 amp with a holder, and you are very happy. I promise.
Excellent.
Word.
These look nice. Anti-static record sleeves. 100 for 18 euro. That's pretty good. And outer sleeves. 100 for 23 euro. Nice. Japanese pressing, 6 euro a piece.
laterally and fore and aft. In Kepler, the springs are in the balls and they're cant at an angle of 45 degrees. So now, if you take the components, you'll have the same component vertically, laterally and fore and aft. So you've got as good a suspension as you can hope to have for a turntable. You can't get better. Okay? And there's a reason for that, because you just bring whichever arm you want into play.
Oh, that's interesting.
And in production, it's going to have a detent for the end stops.
And
Okay?
you can lock it in place.
Yes,
once
exactly.
you-
Yeah. Okay. So all the business end of it is in a rigid bit at the top, and then you've got the thing underneath it. Okay.
This
So,
is a direct drive turntable?
yes. Oh, you like belt drive?
Well, it wouldn't work out. I don't see you do this as a belt drive turntable.
It is a belt drive.
It is a belt. Where's the belt?
Underneath the platter. You can swap between belt or direct drive, as you wish.
Oh,
It uses a Technics motor for direct drive, and it uses my K drive for the belt drive.
is this a vacuum hold down?
Yes, it's a vacuum hold down with an Acromat.
That's unique.
Yeah, why?
Why not?
Why belt and or?
Because I can.
Okay.
This is my baby. I can do what I want. I'm in my own element. Come on. After 40 years, I've got to be allowed some degree of latitude. Okay.
And what is
Right. So we now move on to the arm. There are 5 patents on this product. It's not a how heavy can I make it that I need a forklift truck to get it in from wherever. I don't see the purpose behind that.
Okay.
People say, oh, my turntable is good, it weighs a lot. But the point is, the business end is the Stylus tip, 0.2 milligrams. 0.2 milligrams against 1 kilo and 0.2 milligrams against 40 kilos, it's only a factor of 40 difference. From 0.2 to the first kilo is where the work is being done. Okay, so what is our objective when we're playing records? What's the final reference point that we have?
We want the stylus to course through the grooves accurately and not be affected by what's happening in the groove and messing up on the other end.
Okay, so, and we have a reference, the master tape.
Right.
Okay, and the stylus at the point that it's tracing the groove is doing the best job it possibly can. As the stylus is tracing the groove, it is doing the best job that it possibly can with the record. After that, the arm joins in the party, the turntable joins in the party, and it all just gets mucked up. So our job is to protect that stylus, and I've come up with a concept called the isolation bubble. So we want that image there to take place. We want the cartridge in a protected bubble, ignoring anything else in the world. And that's the best we will ever achieve and get as close to the master tape as possible.
Okay.
Okay? Right. So we look at the arm. I'm going to start with the tracking arrow because for reason of logistics. I don't like tangential parallel trackers because they crab.
Right, I agree.
Okay, fine.
It looks great on the outside.
Yes.
In the real world where it's happening,
It doesn't work. Okay. So as you saw with AK1, I've got the rotating head shell. This is not the same. I wasn't happy with the way you saw it on AK1 with the cross ones because temperature variations mean that the tension's going to vary. So I've got a patent pending on that. The arm beam is not an FX3 arm beam. Conventional arms work like fishing rods and they've got massive resonances. 20 dB for Riga, 30 dB for an SME5, so on and so forth. These are from Hi-Fi World. Using f.cross I get 6 dB. That one gives me 1 dB. It's in the noise floor, you can't hear it. That's why it's called Raptor. It's sonically black.
and you can buy the arm separately?
Yes, you can. Okay, so you can thank your friend and my friend Boris for that. Half my kit is still in England, which is part of the assembly kit here. You're going to have a press pack and what have you. It's all stuck there because I couldn't get the van over.
And so what is this? How much does this arm cost?
11,000. Okay, and the deck with the 3 arms is 75.
75,000?
Yes.
That's a lot.
Excuse me, for somebody who plays with 300,000, try again.
Okay, but still, I'm talking about in the general
You're talking.
world. I'm not.
Right, exactly the point. Exactly. This is the Lamborghini. But for the man in the street, for your, there are. Do you know how many record players there are running around the world at the moment?
A lot of it.
About 9 million. And they don't own Lamborghinis. They own.
Of course.
They own Rigas.
Right.
They own Renko.
Right.
They own Auris.
Of course.
And for that, I have Houdini. I have Acromat. I have.
Acromat's fantastic.
Try Houdini. I mean, Houdini is the thing that is surprising people. I mean, Alan's played with it. That is a Houdini. That funny little thing. And the difference it makes is gobsmacking.
Because you know, my feeling is the most rigid connection to the head shell is the most.
What?
Yeah.
How does that work? If there is no free lunch in this universe.
That's true. There's no free lunch, but you don't want anything. You don't want anything doing this.
You can't stop it.
Well, you can certainly if you
can't stop it because in the real world with the real customers, this is what they are buying. This is what they're living with.
Okay, so on that level, but a better arm.
Excuse me, a better arm, £5,500 arm.
Oh, well, that's a SME 5.
Yeah.
Okay, but that's old already.
Name me a decent arm at reasonable prices. Don't forget, you say better arm, but how many millions of Riga arms are there? You're going to expect them to all go out and buy a better arm at 2, 3, 4 grand?
Okay, so I will say that this might be a great solution to lesser arms deal with problems with lesser arms.
But that's what I'm doing. I'm offering solutions to the average man in the
then I take back what I said. Because what you're doing is
This is what it's about. You know, the isolation bubble concept is for the man in the street.
Good point.
It's the everyman one.
I live in a rarefied world.
Exactly.
You live in your own bubble.
That's right. So I'll exit my bubble and say that this is something worth trying. So let me try it.
Then get in touch with me.
I will get in touch with you.
Okay, you've got to get off. So
Acromat works great. That's
the final thing
I recommend that to everybody. I'm on your side.
Ça marche pas.
For this perfect moment with Jerome Sabbagh that we can applause right now.
About what you're about to hear and how this came about. Francois invited me to play a solo gig in Paris at an MIT Sound, and so I did that. And at the end of it, he had the idea of like having me play over an Aerosol play-along record, which is used as a tool to learn jazz, and which was a pretty widespread thing in the 70s and 80s. So we did that, and it was really fun. His clients really liked it, so he had the idea of asking darTzeel and Stenheim to commission a special recording for this show, and they did it. So what you're about to hear is a recording that I did in the studio with my actual band. So that's Greg Toohey on guitar, Joe Martin on bass, and Kush Abadi on drums. That's the band that recorded a record called No Filter, which is over here. And we went back into the studio, and I played along. We were all in different rooms so that we could take out the saxophone track. And the idea was like, once we took out the saxophone track, I would be able to come here and play live for you with the rhythm section being on the recording. So that's what you're about to hear. That's my actual working band. We're gonna play, or I'm gonna play some jazz standards and also some original compositions. I got like 4 or 5 songs ready for you to go, so we're gonna do that. And in between songs, if anybody has any questions about the process, the recording, the music, anything, feel free to ask and I'll answer as best I can. If you have any questions about the fantastic system that's over here, Francois or Hervé or Jean-Pascal can talk about it. And there's also, you know, you've noticed the wooden acoustic panels, which are by VDM. So like this all kind of like, I don't completely understand how that works either, but Igor can tell you about those if you're interested. And it all kind of like works together as a system with what I'm gonna do. So I guess the idea was like, see how live saxophone could work over a system like this, and how close can we come to a real concert, and how does that, what are the differences, what are the similarities, how does this work if you're sitting in the audience in a good spot? So I guess we're about to find out. So the first song is called Everything I Love, and it is a jazz standard. Thank you very much.
Well, it's a cartridge designed for darTzeel. It's using a laser-sintered body, like you find on the Schroeder arms, like the K3 and the K5. The idea was to have an exoskeleton for the cartridge, which was completely heterogeneous in terms of material and resonances to provide perfectly non-resonant body. Inside, we have a cross-coil design with silver coils. And it's a very low impedance, actually. It's 5 ohms.
Okay.
So basically our competitors are using something like 30 to 40 ohms. You can find it in, let's say, Denon 103s, which are 40 ohms. It's Fondenu. The idea was to have a single layer construction, which allows to have a perfectly winded coil with no over coiling. and above all, a very light effective mass. Light effective mass means low resonance frequency of the moving ensemble, and thus provides a very clean sound.
And what's the cantilever material?
Actually, we're working on different cantilevers right now. It's a prototype, I'm sorry.
Oh, okay.
Okay. But we're using right now a groovy cantilever with Fritz Geiger S. As you know, the Fritz Geiger S diamond tip has the most fast contact area. But we're also working on a new kind of cantilever that I can't really talk about right now. But let's say it will be original and not used right now.
And the stylus tip on this one is?
It's a Fritz Geiger S. It's a very large surface area contact diamond tip. What can I sell to you? Yes, it's a little devil, because actually to make it work you have to have a phono stage, which is having huge gain with 0.075 millivolt of output. You just can guess what is happening. And the crazy part about it is that Hervé is using the NHB18NS phono stage.
Which is a nice phono stage.
But who would have believed it would be able to handle such a cartridge without a step-up?
Yeah.
I could never have guessed. And it works quite well, actually.
It does up to 72 dB gain, doesn't it?
Yeah, 70, 72, and it's configurable to put more gain. I think Hervé is designing also something special for the
and so is there a price?
Price tag? Yeah, well, it's going to be expensive, that's for sure.
Of course it is. Let's be real.
But I think it deserves it. And yeah. We're on the Schroeder reference SQ tonearm, which is just gorgeous. Therman LX1 MK2 turntable.
All right, great, thank you. I don't want to hold up.
No problem.
Hey. Hi, I'm Norbert Lehmann from Lehmann Audio. And people might know me about my phono stages and headphone amplifiers. So, on this screen you see a concert that has been hosted at the world famous Bauer Studios in Ludwigsburg, who had been responsible for the Köln concert of Keith Jarrett and had been responsible for many other concerts of Keith Jarrett and other recordings. And the concert took place last October. The LP will be published in early October this year and has been recorded straight to analog 2-track, and this very master tape will be used for a half-speed master for the vinyl disc. So,
what's the name of the band?
The name of the band is Jens Filder Organic Blues Project, featuring Brenda Boykin. Brenda is originated in the States and has been living in Germany for, I think, 30 years or something like that.
Great. And then people can watch the video and then buy the record.
This will be able, yes, the video will be able as video on demand. People can just buy a streaming ticket and watch the video for 3 days and then decide later to go for the record. And I'm really very happy with the performance.
Great. I look forward to it. Okay, thanks.
I started the company 2020, 1 month before COVID.
Yes, good timing.
Good timing, yes, said everyone.
But vinyl's only gotten bigger in that period. That was actually a good time to start it.
Yes. I had time to develop and learn and develop. And so I started in April. These products are ready for market since April.
And so you're going with an H-shaped plinth.
Yes. Okay. So the name. H2, H1.
Luphonic.
Yes, it's my name.
Oh.
Lu and Euphonic. Luphonic.
Makes complete sense.
Yes. So the name.
And so the price of this is 2,500 euros.
Yes.
With the arm.
With the arm. Yeah.
And who makes this arm? Do you make this arm?
It's self-developed. It's a gimbal suspension with a precision ball bearing.
And this is a AC motor?
Yes, synchronous.
Synchronous motor.
Synchronous motor. Both.
And this is less expensive.
Yes.
And the difference is that this is a strain layer.
The plinth is different. The materials of the plinth. It's a polyurethane rigid foam with a HPL layer on the top and the back. It's bonded together. And this one has solid surface, Korean.
Yeah. Korean.
Korean, yes.
Can you show me the bearing? Can you lift off the plate?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure.
And it's very rigid. I show it at this.
Is it the same bearing in both?
It's the same bearing.
Oh, that's very nice.
It's a brass bearing with a ceramic ball.
Oh. The ceramic ball's at the bottom?
Yes, yes.
Yeah, sure.
Yes.
So this is fixed. You don't lift it.
Yeah, you can lift it.
Oh, it's magnetic.
No.
That's just
It's
the
only
quality of the bearing.
It's only the vacuum.
Oh, okay.
It's very precise.
Very nice.
It's
Yes.
only 6-8 microns.
Do you have an American distributor yet?
No.
Maybe this video will get somebody to... Yeah.
I show you the operation.
Okay.
Yes. This is normal. Is an external motor control, and that one is integrated motor control unit.
Oh, so
and the operation.
Motor control is internal. Okay.
It's a small enclosure here beneath the ladder.
Oh, I can see it. Sure.
Yes. And there is a hole for the speed adjustment.
Oh, good. Yes.
And the operation is made with a puck. Yeah. Yes.
Oh, that's. And then when it hits speed, it stops working.
Yes. After 5 seconds, the speed is reached.
How do you switch it to 45? You move it to a different place.
Flip it.
Oh,
yes.
That's really cool. That is really cool.
Yes, and you see the little light. If you come near the center, there is a little light, and you see here you have to leave the puck. And if it turns the motor, the light is on, and if it's too bright, here the light, but at home when it's darker you see the light glimmering on the lower ring.
Just to tell you where it is.
It's just glow.
That's very cool. I'm glad I stopped by. Nice.
Yes.
Luphonic. Great. Good luck.
Thank you very much.
This looks interesting.
My name is Milomir Trošić, but everybody knows me like as a Mickey, my nickname. And I'm in audio since I was 16, 17. But then 10 years ago, we started a company as my son graduate audio video technologies. So I started a company and start to redesign my old tube amp designs. And we start to exhibit in Munich, and we establish actually the production of the tube amps. And in the meantime, we, as our company, have some kind of digital engineers. We are 50 in the company. We saw the possibility to move also in the digital and portable audio. So that's why I actually opened a company in the United States called Earman, which is dedicated only for portable and digital audio. In the meantime, my schoolmate designed a reference tonearm, and he tried to sell it with one guy who tried to represent him as a designer, but actually Slobodan Petrovich Hoke is a designer of this tonearm.
That's you.
Yeah.
This is the designer of the tonearm.
Yeah, of course. And he designed Tangenta, Supreme Analog Tangenta, and it was the previous model of this arm, and the people like it, but they didn't succeed as the sales guy was not so deeply
committed to it.
Yeah, committed to the analog at all. So
let's talk about the mechanics of it. I don't care about the sales of it. I want to talk about.
So regarding mechanics, this arm is specific because have some differences between the other arms of this kind. So yeah, it have 8 ball bearings, so 2 for anti-skating, 4 ball bearings for the main, and 1 for VTA and 1 for anti-weight. And the lift itself is a specific and very precise designed, and the difference between the other arms is that we are using the ceramic ball bearings, usually used for some very precise industries and tested on 400,000 RPM. So for the arm, when they are so good for the 400,000 RPM in the arm, they will work very good.
And what is this?
Of course, you know what is this.
What is it?
Azimuth.
Oh, just see. I want to see how you did that.
It's very easy.
That's what I thought it was, but I'd rather not guess what these things are. I'd rather ask.
And you just block it here. And so.
And that's loosen that, and then you just.
VTA you can do on the fly, very easy. We are not using a screw from micrometers. We are doing by our own. So and everything is done by hand, and of course precise things.
The arm tube is a carbon.
This is carbon fiber, but we also have another one. You can bring the golden plated one.
And the head shell. So the head shell, you can replace the head shell. You can get multiple head shells and have cartridges.
Really not.
No.
Really not on this.
See, that's what happens when you guess. That's why you shouldn't guess. You should wait till you.
And look at that one. So this is aluminum with carbon, and this is brass with American walnut. So the difference is in weight, in effective mass, and of course in resonant frequencies. So we measure on 12 inch, I think 8 hertz is on 12 inch with brass. I didn't measure that one yet, but I will. And yeah, they're practically the same. Yeah.
What does this cost? What will this cost in America?
This is around 6,000, 6 grand, and this is around 14. 14. Yeah. The difference is because you need to spend too many hours in polishing.
You don't have to tell me. I see what that is. It's self-explanatory. It's why it would cost.
So we have a 9, 10, 12, and 14 inch, which is here inside 14 inch is the case, and also I will show you something which will be introduced in these arms and one model down, and this is something patent pending, so that everybody change head shells, and we decide to change vents. So here is a micro XLR 4 pins, it's been balanced, so you can easy change.
You change the arm too, as opposed to the head shell.
And the trick is, it's not movable like the head shell. So and you have a block to it, but Also, you can buy 9-inch. Tomorrow you can just buy weight and another one, and you can have 10, 12,
That's great.
whatever.
And so you're going to introduce that into these arms?
Yeah.
When will that be next year?
Actually, the first series that is done without this because some people doesn't like to have the split wiring.
Right. They think they lose a little bit of resolution.
We already have done in this one.
Yes.
So you can choose you want with this or without.
And how much extra does it cost to have it?
It costs around 300-400 extra.
That's not bad at all.
It's actually it's only working hours.
Yeah, okay. It's very straightforward. Thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Actually, this is the premiere.
Prototype.
No.
This is an actual one.
It's not the prototype.
It's the real one.
Yeah. There is another one.
So what is this? What sell for?
It's 5K.
5,000.
Complete plug and play.
Okay.
It's better plug and play than plug and pray.
Yes.
and it's better plug and play than plug and cry. This is the big one.
Where does the arm go?
Yeah, we just moved. Yeah, that's it.
And what is that pod made out of?
We make it.
What's it made out of?
It's, this one is from a metal and from a brass also. We're doing brass or steel.
What is this?
This will be around 10,000 and the arm is 14,000 itself.
Right. Okay.
You just tell me which length you like.
Right.
Okay, danke für den Besuch. Ja, danke auch. Toll.
Hey there.
Hello, Mr. Stereophile.
Mr. Stereophile. Did you get anything new here? Or
Yes, I would like to show you.
Show it to me.
As you probably know, we are building record cleaning machines since 12 years now.
Yep.
So the Nessie Vinyl Master is very popular. And now we have the Vinyl Master as a double-side washing machine. We use microfiber, and we have a washing kit here. It's the water is applied by 3 nozzles, and this unit is lifted by an electromagnet from inside of the machine.
So it applies a certain amount of force to the record.
That's it. And the fluid is applied with a special program which applies it step by step until this point before it begins to rain.
Okay.
We have 3 programs. Normal program is the automatic program, which I start now. The machine guides the user through the process. This is also available in English, of course. In the setup of the machine, you choose your language. The first 20 seconds, the fluid is applied.
To both sides?
Both sides.
Yeah.
And both sides in the same quality. I will show you. We will interrupt it to show you. On the display you can see how many records are already washed. It's a small number here.
Okay.
That indicates for the service or something. So I stop it now to show you that the application of the fluid is the same on the
sides. Yep.
And there's no dripping.
No dripping.
No.
Like that.
The drips, what you see here, comes when I show it.
Right. I get that.
Yeah.
Very ingenious.
So. Now I stopped the washing, so the machine asked me to start the drying cycle. Even on both sides.
Very quiet.
Yes, very quiet. This happens in, with one return within 30 seconds. and after that the record is completely dry and you can hear it or put it in steam.
So it's done already?
Yeah, one reverse.
Okay, let's see the other underside.
Yes, of course. The tanks are inside the machine, and they have a sensor, and if they need a fill up, it will also be shown here.
And also empty.
Yes, yes. If it's empty, they show please replenish.
Wow,
so it's
very nice.
It's dry and clean.
And this is like in America. This would be like $3,300.
Yes. Compared with the clear audio double matrix, we are 2,000 euros away. So customer may buy a good Phono stage or something for the spare money.
All right, great, very nice. Thank you so much.
We are distributed by MoFi. MoFi in America.
They're friends of mine.
Yeah.
Okay.
So it would be a pleasure if you can sometimes write a good review for it.
Okay. It's a Jerome Mark II. So what makes this the AMG Jerome Mark II?
We have a bigger bladder now for better speed stability.
Okay.
We have arm board, so we can put different brands on it.
Okay. So you just get an onboard cut for whatever you want to put on.
Yes. Yeah. So we have a new sub-letter for better connection, and we have a smaller pulley on the motor so that the motor can run faster. It's better for speed stability. Yeah. And we have damped the motor with a rubber map, so it's very silent motor now. 16mm axle hardened.
And 11. 7,000 without the arm and 11,000 with the arm. Okay. Anything else to do? Or?
Yeah, we have from the Forte, the LR Forte, we have new bladder clamp. Different surfaces on it.
Oh no, the difference is really the
outside.
Okay. This is a very good product. This. Are you Mr. Flux?
Yes, I'm Mr. Flux.
Okay. So I'm Michael Fremer from right now with Stereophile. And
Nice to meet you.
I've written about this. I reviewed this.
This is a Stylus cleaner.
Yeah, I reviewed this, and this operates at a pretty low frequency, so it can't be damaged.
Right. There is the frequency is just 210 hertz, and the more important than the frequency is the amplitude. The amplitude is 8 microns in X and Y direction. So when you clean it, this is after 5 sides of an LP.
Oh, I know that.
And this is after cleaning.
Yeah, people don't look close enough and they think it's good, and then my sound is getting bad. What's the problem? You go check out my turntable, and I go, why don't you clean your styles? Oh, it's I did it yesterday.
How? With a brush, and then you get only rid of the hair, but not of this. This is vinyl debris.
Yeah.
This is 169.
And then what else have you done? What's the Flux Turbo?
The Flux Turbo 2.0 is a vacuum cleaner. This is the Dyson for LPs. So we have a carbon fiber brush, which has the anti-static here after you release the foil.
Right.
Because if you have the static, the dust clogs on it.
Right.
So we have the velvet bars on the side, so we close it from 3 sides. Here is also a velvet, so that you get an airflow.
Right.
And then it's sucked up on this line here. And the best use is if you have a washing machine.
Right.
Because with a washing machine, you wash not only one LP, you wash 20. put them in new sleeves, what we also have.
Right.
And then you take it out maybe a week later, and then the first dust particles are there, and then these are loose. And these you suck off, and then it's clean.
And then you open this up and dump out the dust, or?
You have a filter in here, which you can open. So the dust is collected here. You can put it out, and it's off. Sometimes it's completely clogged off, but then we have additional filters, like a vacuum cleaner.
What does that cost?
That costs $2.99.
Can I hold it in my hand?
Yes, of course.
Seems pretty stable. It also gives you shade. That's great.
So this is the turbo, and then we have the flux brush. This is a combination of a super soft velvet and the carbon fiber. Also the carbon fiber, again, connected here, that you get...
Drains the charge out
the charge. And this you use first on the velvet to clean it, and then at the end just to get off the static, and then you put it off.
And what does that cost?
That cost $59.
Okay, fair enough. This is the Consonance wax engine drum. Okay, so this is a record you produced?
It's a record that I produced. It's fully analog. It was made direct to tape on a C37 by Studer, on a Neve mixing console, pressed in Denmark. One-step pressing.
What's the pressing plant in Denmark called?
DarTzeel. Yeah. All the information is on the inside. Hope you like the music. It's classical, not classical music, but classic jazz, swing jazz. It's Dennis Gordon is from the Nevis Island in the Caribbean. Then German pianist Andrew Sobchak. Andreas Dombert, well-known guitarist.
So is this a band that exists, or did you put this band together?
They put themselves together.
So they exist as a band?
They know each other a long time, yeah.
So they did this project for you?
Correct, yes. Yeah.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah. It's yours. Yeah, sure.
Oh, thank you very much.
Have pleasure. Thank you.
Okay. Franc Kuzma, who of course is 4.0, is one of the best arms in the world at a price that people can afford. It really is great. And here is a brand new arm that he has. So why don't you walk us through this arm?
The new tonearm Safir, 9-inch. The key feature is the Safir tube. We're using the 4-point bearings combination, but the key is the tube, because all tonearms has tubes, more or less, and they all being aluminium, being carbon, being titanium, they resonate in the ranges of 1200, 1500, 1800, maybe 2000 hertz. This Safir tube is dead till 5000. And that, if you imagine, these vibrations are not on the cartridge body, it makes a different production.
I can imagine. And this is still the 4-point principle. So you can lift this off and show us. For the few people that don't know what that means. Oh, but it's a different, slightly different.
This slide makes slight modification. Basically, this part, it's square. It's made from brass instead of aluminium, and the square hole is square. It's easy to align it and put it straight down.
Yeah, much easier.
Because before was the problem, sometimes people didn't put the spikes in the cups. They missed it.
Otherwise, it's very, very similar. But it's a more elegant design. Yeah, but no damping. You don't need it.
Such a heavy mass because the effective mass is 60.
Yeah.
So I did write a little bit article on our website on the Safir products to explain why it's not a problem having a heavy effective mass.
And what range cartridges are the best on this?
I would say all cartridges which have a compliance below 15. Even 20 will work, but below 15, and most top cartridges are 8, 10, 12.
Alright. And you can adjust azimuth?
The azimuth we changed it. Now it's locked into this part. here is the locking screw, and this is the same principle with the worm drive to fine-tune the azimuth. But this is now more compact, more holding it together. And also this part is aluminium, and this is brass put together, so it's rigid mass concentrated around the bearings, which gives the good support for the tube.
You know what I would like to see next, the next innovation is lighter. I would like to see a worm drive on this, so that you can just turn the knob and it'll go up and down. Because right now you loosen the screw, it falls, and then you put it back up, it's too high, then it's too low, then it's too high. Wouldn't it be nice to have this?
The problem is if you start doing as much as possible adjustments, we are adding more parts to the tonearm.
I know.
More problems.
I know. It's just on my wish list.
Yeah. So we also decided we don't use the detachable catcher here.
It's better for this.
I just wanted to do as maximum rigid tonearm as possible.
Yeah.
With no compromises.
Will you eventually be able to have a longer arm tube, or is it?
Currently is the problem that the manufacturer to make this tube, they cannot make it longer. So we just really want to launch this tonearm. We'll see what's the response, what will the customer say, and then we go from there.
If this is what I think it's going to be, I think the response is going to be.
I think it will be. Even I'm now listening to records at home, which I've never done before.
This is Kuzma's new catalog. Look at this, it's beautiful. See what the success of vinyl allows people. This is a coffee table book. I mean, this is just beautiful. Yeah, and is this arm in there yet?
Should be somewhere.
So it's really up to date. There it is. Oh boy. There's a new turntable brand, New Horizon. Yeah, look how many models they have. It's crazy. Here's the 301, price from €2,000. Price from €600. Price from $399. They're using an arm they get from Project. That's and this looks like their own arm. This is priced at $1,500. There's a lot of models in this line.
Yes, new models, and now we have 3 lines.
How long have you been making turntables?
We started 7 years ago. So
before the big vinyl thing started really going.
Yes.
Good timing.
But now we are presenting our new tonearms for the first time.
Oh, okay.
Yes, we studied a 3D printed system in PA12 material for the rod and for the cup.
And what is that a PA12?
Inside there is a tube of aluminium.
Okay.
So it's a sandwich, a mechanical sandwich for the stiffness, and there are many holes to tune the rod.
And this material is what?
Is nylon PA12.
Okay.
Yes. And the counterweight is damped with a silicone tube. So you can use different counterweight, different material, but the damping material is here. And it's fully adjustable, so you can change the BTA with 2 two screws, and the azimuth is adjustable with a screw on the axe, so you don't have problem. And this is a totally new anti-skating system. We studied this system with a line and a weight, but after you choose the force, you can see that it's progressive. Force 1, less, really natural.
Yeah, that's great. That's really nice.
I think we are one of two companies that we have progressive system, not so many, and it's a very good for sound.
And how much is you selling this arm separately or only with your table?
Actually, only with our turntables. We have three models. The model on the entry level is without VDA, but with the same azimuth and anti-skating control. And same material, same length, 9-inch, and it works with a familiar sound between the
You say from $5.99, does that mean you just depending upon the finish?
No, $5.99 is because the tonearms.
Okay. But it says from, so what would make the price more expensive?
And it's because of the thickness of the platter. So thickness is 10 or 12, and from 12 to 20 and 30 we use our toner.
Nice. Can I have one of these?
Yes, sure.
Do you have an American importer at this point?
Actually not.
So
Not yet.
You're looking for one?
Yes. This is the body of the beautiful tonearms. So this is the BTA regulation, and we use a zero force feedback. It's really gorgeous.
Yeah.
The tonearms normally makes 60 degrees, so you can understand that on 60 degrees no force.
Yeah.
2 ball bearings for the horizontal movement and 2 ball bearings for the vertical movement inside. Okay.
Yep.
And our top of the line use ceramic bearing balls. Our top of the line is the only turntables that is floating damped. The other are rigid plinth, but this is.
And what is the principle of what
springs, by springs? We have 3 springs adjustable with this kind of knob. There are 3, so you can adjust the leveling
and you want it to be pistonic. You want it so that
if you install, for example, a clamp, or if you want to change the tonearm, you can do, and you can adjust the egg. In this model, the motor is fixed on the base with an elastic system. You have a pulley with 2 belts, and the floating is fixed, but the rest is in movement. But it's not necessary that you say.
Right. I got you. Okay.
The platter is 30 millimeters, really heavy. It's lathed machine on all the faces, so you can have a perfect cylinder. And this is a brass bearing. Mi dai la bearing? This is the structure of it's an inverted bearing, okay? And it's the same for all the turntables, and it's aluminium.
They all use this bearing?
Yes.
All of these?
Yes, the entry level too.
The same bearing?
Yes, the same bearing. There are 3 important parts in the turntable: the motor, the bearing, and the tonearm.
Yes.
So if you want to have the same performances, you have to use very similar part between the different. We want to offer best performances in the entry level too.
So if that's the bearing on the entry level, that's very good.
Yes,
that's very good value.
And this is a very good bearing. It's but in our top of the line is brass. Yes, and it's brass the soul of the tonearm too. So this is really it's really the best we make actually. This is the external power supply and dedicated to this model, but you can match with all our turntable. You can have a stop and 33 and 45 up to 78.
Okay. Thank you for showing me through your line.
Yes, it's a pleasure.
Okay.
So my name is Rangel from Roma, Berlin. We are manufacturing the record brushes, and Michael Kramer changed my life because we made by accident, I think 2018 at the show, I was not ready with the brush, and I just asked you if I can have your cut, and you tell yes. So I sent you the brush a few months later, and I think 6 months later you wrote me an email, I love your brush, so I will make a review. I was very excited, and I wasn't sure that I didn't know that the November issue, as you told me, came out October. Yeah. So I woke up one morning, I think this was 30th of October, with like 30 orders, and I said, oh my god, I don't have 30 brushes, what am I going to do now? So yes, the first thing I do at the morning was to make the delivery time from 1 week to 2 weeks to 3 weeks, and now we are
but now
4 weeks.
You're also selling brushes to like companies.
I'm also selling brushes to companies. I'm very happy and proud that Nagra ordered for all the turntables anniversary edition 70 brushes, so we make this project together, and I'm also very happy to work with companies like also it's Mill Audio or Audio Vector.
I showed him your brush also, by the way.
And Jonathan told me you have the turntable, so I will be very happy to send you one of the metal coated brushes.
It's what I have is fun, you don't have to do that.
I'm not sure if you saw this one in front of the turntable.
No,
so
is it in front of his turntable?
Yes.
I'll go, I'll see it.
Yeah.
It's fine, you sent me the one.
So yeah, I just want to say thank you.
Great, so you're doing good now.
I quit my job. I was working in the German Parliament for the last 7 years, and I quit my job, and now I'm living my dream, making record brushes. I developed my hobby to my job, and listening to vinyl all the time, making the best record brushes in the world, and I'm happy to meet you back then, so it gave a start for my business.
Great,
thank you very much.
Thank you. It's nice. Look at it. Very nice. And when you put the platter, so it's sitting inside the plinth, you can see the run out. You'd be able to see if they were. It looks really well built.
Esoteric's brand new turntable called the Grandioso T1.
Called the what?
Grandioso T1.
Grandioso. Grandioso.
Italian.
Grandioso. Are you an extra one of these you can give me?
Yeah, of course you can have it.
That's a nice. Okay. So it's a magnetic drive.
Can you see this? This is a motor rotates, and the motor also kind of say a reflex because of the magnetic.
It's got a magnetic coupling. And that's how it spins. Oh, that's really interesting. No one's done that before that I know of.
So we have taken the patent in Japan. So this is a really unique function of T1.
And is this adjust speed control?
No, this adjusts the speed control.
Oh, okay, that makes sense. And what does that do?
This knob is for changing the distance from motor to platter.
Changes the torque?
It won't change the torque, the distance.
And so what does that do?
It'll change the sound signature.
Based on what?
Well, it's hard to explain, but
so the customer, you just say, don't worry about it, just play with it and see where you like it.
Yeah, that's right. The sound quality changes with the distance. That's what we got received from our testing, and it's really great to have an opportunity for the end users to enjoy the sound quality from that.
And do you suggest they put a mat on top of the platter?
I think so too. We're still developing this product, so we are not finalized the sound quality. So if a customer wants to have a mat on the platter, that's really okay. No worries.
And how much does that platter weigh?
19 kilograms. Well, currently the only detail we can tell is on this brochure, or you can look into the website also too. Because of we are still under the development, we haven't finalized the feature and functions.
When do you think this product will be
start delivering on we say summer?
That's not too far away.
And price in Europe, we haven't decided yet, but around 75 euros in the market.
Let us say 75,000 or something more for 75 euros.
Great. And I would like to show you the back panel. This right here, we have the clock input, 10 minutes. So this is for a motor to rotate accurate 11.
And so that's the motor drive down there?
This is the power supply.
Right. Yeah. And so you'll have an outboard clock that would go there?
Yes.
And that would improve like a clock on a digital. And that's going to be an extra cost option, or included?
Included.
So you don't have that finished?
We're still at that.
And the suspension is just a hot mass load.
And the tone arm will be with the T1, and also we will be releasing the T1 without the tone arm.
And is it going to be that indicator arm?
Yes, indicator arm.
All right, so this is a new read. What's the model number?
5A.
5A. So this is a tangential tracking pivoted arm that doesn't use the laser guided system.
Exactly.
And you get the DS Audio
Grandmaster. Exactly, with the Phono stage.
And with the double Phono stage. I've set one of these up for someone. So, and the Helix, the Dome and Helix one, turntable Mark II. I got one of those. That's a cool thing.
Yeah, it's also a present from Aki to Zelato.
Yeah,
so.
I got that. And then over here we got the Reed Muse 1C, which is a great turntable that people sometimes overlook. They don't think about it, but it's really a great table.
I really like the table, the simplicity. You just throw it on the table, 10 minutes later you're set, and it works. Always.
And this is I reviewed this arm. I reviewed the table and the arm. This is the laser arm, which is a very interesting design. And that's the that's the
top wing.
I reviewed that also. Yeah, it's an interesting cartridge. We're in the Angstrom room. Okay.
Yeah, so this is the M Phono. M stands for Monica, as it's a part of the Monica preamplifier, which is those two boxes.
So it's actually like a third box to go with the Monica.
Can it run independently, or is it
No,
power supply comes from
No, it has a separate power supply, so it can be used
standalone?
Yeah, standalone.
And what does that cost?
It costs 25,000 euros.
25,000 euros. Okay. It's vacuum tube based.
Yeah, it's with those pencil tubes.
Oh yeah. And is it a transformer input?
Yeah, with a step up from Lundell.
Okay. Okay, so wait 1 second. And then this is your phono preamp. This is the
Yes, Faber Power.
GM Phono V3.0.
Okay, it's called the Faber Power
GM
Phono version 3.0.
Yes.
Okay, and this will allow you to
set up
deviate from the RWA curve as you need to.
Yes, you have RIA, EMI, Decca, Philips, Columbia.
Okay.
This is polarity inversions, and this is the operate muting, okay?
Is there a mono switch on it? No.
Different inputs.
Okay.
Each selectable.
And it's got a unique transformer FET transformer circuit.
Okay. And what does this cost?
It's cheaper.
It's cheaper.
Only
12,000.
12,000. Okay. In this market, that's moderately priced.
Yeah. But now we have some problem
with component because the price is rising.
I don't know.
Of course, everything's going up.
Yeah.
See, I just did that. People my age can't do what I just did. Okay.
It's Pilates.
Exactly, Pilates. I'm still falling over, but less than I was before.